Disclaimer, top of the video, mom and dad, if you're watching, it's time for you to see yourself out. You probably don't want to hear this, okay? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Rachel Show! If you hear some noise in the background, it is my dishwasher. I'm sorry, but you know, real life. I never thought that I would be pregnant and married before 20. And I also never thought that I would be divorced before 30. Well, I grew up an immense people pleaser. I don't know if that has something to do with really just having surface level kind of relationships with my family, even my immediate family. I feel like we've never had real raw conversations. Not to say that I haven't gone to my mom with trauma and drama as a teenager, you know, like, oh, my period just started, all of that. Like, she knows all of that stuff, but for the most part, 90% of our relationship is surface level. And it's the same with my siblings. I feel like it's never allowed me to evolve as a young person. And I've done a lot of healing and a lot of growth growing up, but I still got into a lot of bad situations because I was a people pleaser. And I think it all started back when I was in first grade and I was sexually harassed by a fellow student. My mom knows about this story and she took me to the school. I had to recount everything that happened in that encounter with the principal, and it was so nerve-wracking. And honestly, they really did nothing. That same boy was in my classroom. He continued to be in my classroom. And flash forward to 5th grade, because that happened in first grade. Flash forward to 5th grade, and he is in my class again. And he sits right in front of me. And I was seething with anger every single day. Eventually, somehow our classes got shuffled up. I don't know if I said something to my parents and they moved me to a different classroom. I don't really remember. I just remember now I was in a different homeroom. And so now we did mix, like in 5th grade, we did go like history and science in like homeroom where they taught us everything else basically. And so we did a rotation of a few classes. And he never ended up being in my class again. And that was pretty early on in the school year. So I'm really thankful for that, because having to sit behind someone that sexually assaulted you or sexually harassed you is terrifying and angry and so hurtful and everything. And I can tell you guys what happened. When I look back on that incident or that encounter, I try to downplay it because nothing really happened, but at the same time, I felt so violated, and I felt like it really went into a lot of who I am and the choices I made growing up. What happened is we were in the cafeteria, first grade. This boy's in my classroom, and side note, so you guys know, I was the first grader with the retainer. So I was like the outcast, not the cool girl or anything. My parents always packed my lunch, and I never had the cool snacks in my lunchbox. But I was sitting at the end of the lunch table pretty much by myself, because I was always been kind of a loner girly. And the guy that sexually harassed or assaulted, or I don't really know what the real term is, sat beside me, and his friend sat across from me, and they egged him on to rub his hand up my thigh. And that's really all that happened. But when you're in first grade and you know that that's a violation, you didn't want that person to touch you, I was absolutely mortified. Like, why did they pick me? I wasn't the cute, cool, fun girl. I was a girl with the retainer that ate PB&J and had her salad stuck to her retainer and took it out in front of everyone. I got laughed at because I forgot I had my retainer on still. Like, but that trauma at such an early age really shaped me to be a people pleaser and to want to just not open up to people. And it really got me into sticky situations where I became a teen mom. At 19 years old, I got pregnant with my first daughter, and we got immediately married. Right after she was born, we were married. And that's a person that my ex-husband, I should have never been married to. I should have never had sex with. I should have never gotten pregnant by. Looking back, like, he's such a narcissist, and it was the perfect combination for abuse, basically. I got verbally abused almost the entire 8 years that we were married. There would be times where after I gave birth to our second daughter, and I would be working out and trying to get my body back and stuff like that. And you guys, if you're moms, you know how much and how hard and difficult that time is after giving birth, and you're trying to figure out who you are again, and you're trying to lose the baby weight, even if it's just for yourself. It was not good. I was working out in the living room. We had a little stationary bike. He would tell me how fat I was while I was working out, and he would make fun of the little gap I have in my front two teeth right here all the time. And he would always just, like, it was the worst. I don't know. And fast forward, we were married for 8 years, and then he cheated on me. He was not even really there for our second pregnancy, and I feel really bad for our second daughter, Izzy, because she never got the best mom, like the best version of me when she was younger. I was more withdrawn, I was more irritable, and I didn't have much patience. I don't have a lot of baby photos of her because we were kind of broke at that time, but also it was just a very bad time in my life, and I didn't want to take photos, so I didn't want to remember that time. We did get back together, and we did try to make the marriage work, but it was irreparable. I could never forgive him for cheating on me. I never trusted him again. I suspected him cheating again on me, but I'm not sure if that actually happened. We ended up he went on a military trip for 2 weeks, and he texted me at midnight that he was done with the marriage and he wanted a divorce. So I got texted that I was getting a divorce, and that was the hardest thing ever, to not have real communication from the person that you've been living with and having sex with and had 2 kids with and ate every meal together with almost, you know, just to get a text message that you don't love me anymore and that you don't want to be married to me anymore is the hardest. Like, ripped my heart out. He wasn't even there to tell me face to face for us to deal with this as a family, as a unit. So after his 2-week little trip, he came back, and we told the girls, and we split up. He left the house. He moved in somewhere else, and he came over here and there to, you know, take care of the girls and stuff like that. And the girls and I eventually moved back with my family. But fast forward years after that, where I'm single and I feel like I'm ready to date again, but in all honesty, I was never really ready to date again. I feel like now I've done a lot of healing, a lot of growth, and I feel like I am finally ready to date. But I had several years where I was like having so much casual sex because I was dating these guys, and I felt like that's what you're supposed to do when you're dating. You're supposed to have sex with these guys and make them happy, or else they're going to cheat on you. And see, that's why I say I wasn't ready to date. I've had to do a lot of healing. I don't know. This is so hard to be so vulnerable with you guys. Yeah, I have no idea how I've made it through, because being 19 and pregnant and married And then being 20 something and being divorced was the most wildest ride. It's been the toughest 10 or 12 years of my life since being divorced, being a single mom, raising my kids, and then my kids go to live with their dad. Oh my gosh, I've had the wildest times. I've had some good times, but it's been the struggle bus, and I've been in straight just struggle and depression. I have not been able to be the best version of myself. I feel like now that I'm walking almost into 42 in a couple of months, I am ready to be the best version of myself, to be the best mom that I can be to my adult kids, to heal from the past and help my girls heal from the shitty mom that I was. Yeah, I don't know, but I really want to share my heart with you guys. I really want to be vulnerable and honest, and I hope that you guys are get to know me so much more from this short story time. I love sharing my life with you guys, and I love you. Thank you for watching. Bye.